Okay, so just thought we'd have a quick look at the high tide TLC, see what it's like, and see if we can glide through it. Something to do basically on a Saturday morning. Well, let's get started, shall we? Feel free to pop in. Rather easy first round, I believe. So clearly this was put together with the Apollo in mind when it first came out. And actually, I think also rhinos. So it shouldn't pose any problem, should it, for the newer fleets? This is more looking at the targets than anything else. Refreshing our memories as to what's in what. There are some mega holes coming later, so. We'll patch up as we go along, I think. So this first encounter, as you can see, it's 5 there. Plenty of time, 6 hours of flying until. So I put a crew on just to speed them up because, unlike the Phoenixes, the Skyfighter is a little bit slow, so it's serving another purpose apart from just getting around the battle screen quicker, that's all. So whilst I don't quite have the range, obviously, of the missile Phoenix, we've definitely got the added bonus of the UAVs dancing off and retargeting, which we rather like that. Interesting, so we're getting some missile fire from turrets that are actually dead. So that's interesting. A little bit of damage, don't worry about that just yet. So obviously this TLC is tipped up in preparation for the refresh of the FM. Sorry, the refresh of the Raid series. We're going back into Tideseeker and submarine territory. Hellraves it was last time with Tideseekers. So be interesting to see. And we know there's a new ship obviously coming out in the next raid. So, but if you can't get the new ship out in time, then obviously it's a quick tweak of the Tideseeker. Not there's ever a quick tweak of old craft because they seem to take forever. But this should help you anyway. Good morning, how are you? Thought I'd pop on something to do. Pass the time. Refresh myself what these targets look like as well. Bit of overkill because I'm using Skyfires, but so we're just plucking through the first round. Should be 4 rounds if I remember rightly. Say the setup now, obviously, because these were set for retargeting Apollos, but now the setup's actually really nice for a UAV set of fleets. You shouldn't have to trigger too many of the things that come towards you. There we go, so you like that. Rather nice. Yeah, Tideseeker. It should be the Tideseeker one anyway. High tide, isn't it? If not, I picked the wrong one. Let's just go and confirm, shall we? It is. It's high tide, yeah. So that's the first pack done. So if you haven't got it already, then there's the Tideseeker, obviously the blueprint, which isn't a limited blueprint, so you can just build as many as you like. It's not a bad little ship actually, and there are plenty of videos out there showing people how to have some good ones. And ranked up, I wouldn't say using the Garwood is probably the best thing, but actually with some of the scatterguns you can one-shot a lot of the current sort of like targets that it's designed to go against. But they're obviously advanced payload, which is good because concussive damage goes up, concussive reload obviously as well. And there you go, it's kind of build tokens to start people off. So that's run 1 done. Let's just have a little look at that. Damage there, 3 bits instant, right, okay. And we'll trigger run 2, just reaffirm ourselves with how long it takes. So, like I said, yeah, the Garwood is the kick-size choice weapon, really, I suppose. But it might not necessarily be the right one. But they are great little ships, these. So this second run then, for those, there you go, you get 3 hours, so that's half an hour, so it's 6 hours, now it's 3 hours, and we've got one extra exposure. So we'll zip through this quickly, because it's repetition, to be honest. Nice, so if we can get that ship to trigger with luck, we should be able to get it to. Oh, it'll go left, I think. Yeah, it'll go left. It's the closest target, isn't it? Let's see if we can trigger that to kill bring the ship out, kill the dock, and hopefully the other top tower, which it should do. Or will it be the turret? Even better, it's the turret. Okay. Drama so far. See if we can bring that ship in. So we'll watch these turrets and see if they do shoot after they've died. Right, if they're dead, just keep an eye on them. Nothing came at that time. Just check on the damage quickly. We may as well fix it while we're here. That's a minute's worth. People are busy TLC by the looks of it. Couple of people about. Four, 5, 6. Let's see what 6 brings us in a second. Very handy. So when it was the Apollos, the oil slicks that you see in the water, you have to be careful of those because they cause corrosive damage. A little bit, but not much. Although they sped you up, you shouldn't sit in them for too long. But that then went away, and actually, if you've got the right armour on this, and with the flag, it shouldn't affect the Skyfire carrier as well, because you've got corrosive armour on as well, and corrosive. I put the corrosive special on as well, so you've got a bit of extra protection. Obviously, Apollos didn't have that at the time. I don't know what's going on here. Here we go. Bit of lag there. So we can go up and get some things to chain off these. Not a bad start. So we can trigger the ship and get the turret at the same time. That'll do. Very nice. Well, that was a long chain. Wow. As in distance, not number, but distance. Got one round off there, didn't we? That's okay. Get rid of this island. So this is 5, isn't it? So we've got the next one is the one that we haven't seen so far. Okay. Before we go into that, we'll just check the damage. Timely, that was good. Okay, what can we do here? Trigger that ship to assist us a little bit. It's not quite the direction I wanted you to go. Right, let's bring this one out this way. So little things you can do. So you want to kill these here, but I don't want to actually kill them myself. So while we've got a bit of time, we can let the ships do it for us. Here we go. Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much. Same for this one. Rather decent of it. Thank you. Go around this one as well. incoming there from the missile turret. Use this ship to kill those turrets off as well. It's just method rather than anything else, because the damage would be noticeable. It's just showing you a way of doing things. So, a little bit of damage there. I could have brought in Apollos, I suppose, but unfortunately I don't have them anymore. As soon as I built these and the Phoenixes, I basically got rid of them. So a bit more damage there, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, 13 minutes, okay. So those missile turrets are starting to take quite a bit of damage, aren't they? So we can split that. Let's recall these for a second. We'll look at the build while we're doing it. It won't be free all the way through, of course. We should be able to get to the end quite easily. So, we'll have a quick look. Whilst we are looking at this then, so that's the build I've got basically for the guts build. All I've done is really added the so what am I looking at here? Weight is quite reasonable still, 9,128. And damage is pretty reasonable, to be honest. It's up there, which is quite nice. So quite content with it. Difficult to work out exactly what your damage ratio is with obviously a UAV. So you've got to look at the actual UAV itself. But with the specials that are on there, you know, the right ones are there, I think, to be honest. Not everybody went obviously with the with that version for speed and turn, you know, but I just chose to speed mine up a little bit. And I've obviously put some missile countermeasures on the flag just to help me out a bit. So I don't use I'm not using the new UAV, to be honest, because with one more round to go of this raid format, I basically can't be bothered to change them. I'll suffer the little pain in the next raid if it does take me a little bit more. And if it does take me a little bit more, then you know, at least I've been more doing my base and base fleets and a bit of PvP, which is a bit unlikely. But yeah, so that's the flagship for me, and that's the normal ship. So it's all UAVs basically. So I only changed the armor special. That's all I did. Didn't do anything else at all. The only reason I didn't change, I think, probably the UAVs is whilst the other one is more powerful and it's this punch, its ranges are slightly less, which is a little bit annoying. It's not that much difference, but I think it's one like that, which then just brings that a little bit closer to the enemy targets, which I'm not content with. I like 98, and the good thing is 98 if you want to mix your ships up, is also exactly the same range if you're going to be using a combination of hulks or combination of weapons like missiles, because that's their designated distance as well. So, but most of it was laziness, to be honest. Where's the other one? There it is. There. We'll speed these two up. Look at the last one done. 18 seconds on the last one, so not too bad. This isn't the fleet I use mostly. I actually use my Phoenixes just because of the combat speed. But I thought for this TLC, because there's lots of buildings and lots of excess rubbish where you can chain from. Whilst I put retargeting on these, this is a bit more fun. I'll be using these quite a bit to do 91s as well. They're good for doing them. You can clear nearly half the island with one volley. Right. Anyway, let's back to this. So this is high tide, run 3. What does run 3 give us? So we get some more Tide Seeker tokens. So just to recap quickly then, what do we get? So there's 2 tokens right at the start, which is nice. And then another 4 tokens there. And then we're going to get another 4 tokens as well, so that's good. So that's a 10 days worth really. Oh, right, so 4-day build token, that's nice, and another 2 1-days as well, so we're up to 12 now. That's quite good. But there's a bit of ranking, yeah, if you need it in the last one, so. Well, it's just 3 runs, is it? We're already through the first one. Price pack 1, price pack 2. Ah, I thought it was 4 runs, it's not, it's 3. Well, that's okay. So it should be 7 encounters this time. 1 hour is pretty standard, isn't it, to be honest? So if I take damage, we won't stop, we'll just go straight through. Because I'll fix at the end. Yeah, Daniel, they are fun, mate. I like these. They're good fun. I like seeing what I can take out. I mean, because you know they chain that sort of stuff, but it's nice when you dance around a little bit and do other things. Try and work out what you can take out without having to trigger. Like if I can get this, I should be able to take that out without even triggering it. So I just like moving around and doing different things. Especially while it's a Saturday, I've got plenty of time, nothing else to do. There we go. Oh, I quite like that. This one will trigger, but we should be able to take out the other top tower as well, hopefully. That leaves us with just 1 ship. How funny. Combat speed of your Phoenix, mate. We'll pop back in and have a little look if you want in a second. In fact, we'll do it now. We're not in a rush, are we? Got an hour for this. It's certainly not going to take that. Let's have a quick look. I'll show you the build of the Phoenix if you want it, mate. Let's have a look. So Phoenix's Hero Go. It's a bit difficult out here because obviously it doesn't add in some of the things. So obviously I went for the Magnus 2 drive myself because they've got a really good, now they're ranked up, they've got a really good turn speed anyway. And the only thing I added, to be honest, yet again being a bit lazy, was the advanced optical tracking. I'm not 100% sure it was still the right move. It's okay, but it's no game changer. So yeah. But anyway, so you're asking combat speed. So for this one, movement for me is 44 and turn speed's 50. So, I mean, that's just the flag way I built that. And for those that don't aware, obviously we know that in the obviously the common raid format, they've got those really annoying sort of like buildings there that chuck out those big explosive damage cheese balls. So that's why I put the Gale 3 on there, because it just, if it gets too close to my ship, 99 times out of 100 it shoots the darn thing down. Because if one of those cheese balls hits you, bearing in mind these have got no explosive defense, it wipes out 1/3 of the whole fleet, because it'll have splash damage. So it gives you a 1/3 damage to nearly every ship, which is goddamn frustrating. Right, let's go through another one. So run 7 will be obviously a mega ship up to back to me. We'll zip through these and see how we get Me personally, for this week, I know we've got Skyfire, which is up there and it's available and that sort of stuff, but there's nothing in it that I can utilise, so I'm not going to bother. There's another TLC, which I can't remember which one it is, but which I shan't bother doing that either, because there's nothing in it I can utilise at this stage. So. But I know Ren and a couple of the other guys, Derpy, will be doing it, so you have to check out their channels. We'll just go straight through, I think. I mean, if we get damaged, then I'm not really overly bothered. I've got nothing else to do, I'll just park them and fix them. Or I might let them damage and then go through and do the daily, because I think it's the daily with the 3 mega holes to attack actually, and then we get some proper damage on them. Well, fundamentally the crew may have run out by now as well. So bear in mind the fire pools that's been created is the ones I'm creating, so you can actually drive through them. You're not going to cause yourself any damage. Be a bit of a crazy weapon if you damage your own ships. So in this TLC, should have gone around that and not triggered that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the fire pools that are on the sea there, you're not actually causing yourself any damage by driving through them. So. As opposed to doing it in the current raid format, which you'd certainly do take damage. A lot of damage, in fact. So these are one of those building cheese puff things do hit you. You take damage, and then if they don't hit you, and you just end up driving through one, you take a lot of damage as well. So it's an explosive fire field. Which is what we're going to get in the next raid format. It's back to that again. Concussive damage and explosive damage. Okay. Let's try something different. Well, that was handy. Right, we'll go up and around. Because I want to trigger that then. We've got the option 1 and there's option 2 as well. So. There's no need to actually trigger that tower. That's the first one done. We shouldn't even need to trigger that ship. So we should be able to just rhino it and take it off. That was really good. So 1, 2, 3. If we go in close, that should. We let it come to us for a second. Should come up for the centre. Here it comes. You get the distance right. Play it by ear. Oh no, we're not encouraging it to come this way, are we? It's too far away now. You won't chain that far, so we'll go this way instead. And we'll get the rhino to do it for us. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All we have to do is the building. Good. Yeah, that's the frustrating thing, Daniel, isn't it? Skyfires are just that little bit smaller, but then again, you can't have everything in life. Because imagine if Skyfire is the same speed as Phoenixes, then A, they'd be awesome. B, they're probably a bit overpowered, or the targets have to be harder. For those that don't have Skyfires, then it wouldn't be very nice, would it? I've probably gone past the instant fix. I probably should have done it last time. Let's have a quick look. Oh no, we're okay. Someone down the bottom here, look, playing around. What is he using? Prides. Be cautious with prides at the moment. Okay. Right now in the game, prides are losing their prideful if they get stunned and then not getting it back again during base hits. Just be cautious of that. It's a glitch and it's getting fixed, but it is a glitch at the moment. So yeah, he's doing quite well. He's got a good selection of ships there to play with whichever TLC is doing. Oh, zoom. Ship just zoomed up the top corner then. Interesting music. So it's nice that they haven't actually updated this TLC in some respects. Not because I'm using Skyfires, but because clearly the mid-levels then, they may only have Apollos in the current raid format to use, which means they can go ahead and actually definitely do this this TLC, because I managed it last time, the first time round, using Apollos. So they may not even have Tight Seekers. So in preparation for the next raid, this has really come out at a really good time. I'm quite pleased. And clearly, obviously, the other TLC at the moment is obviously the one for the Charge Armors, which is another one that's quite a reasonable one to do. I won't say easy, because easy is a relative term, depends on what you're actually using. I drove through it with my Phoenixes, but not many people have got Phoenixes, so let's see if I can nip that there early. Might be too far to chain. Oh no, he's chained, that's okay. Keep forgetting what the chaining range is. Ah, right, so we won't clip that. I mean, it probably won't give us any damage whatsoever. Just for a bit of a guidance for people. If we go around it, we'll be able to clip that building, and that will take out that other tower. So we'll look at what these Skyfires are in a second, because obviously I was running a crew, so you get a bonus speed off them. But the Skyfires are definitely slower, without a doubt. Because the crew was adding, what was it, 45% or something like that, combat speed. Which is a bit fictitious, so. Yeah, and Daniel as well, obviously, yeah, you put the tactical field and put a combination of, they boost each other on the Phoenixes, don't they? So you gain a percentage of combat speed. And that's why raw combat speed in the base planner is not necessarily, sorry, in the ship builder is not necessarily the best way to look at it. That's what's nice about Huggies. Obviously, he adds in all 5 ships in one, and adds all the specials in, and the multiplication is always done for you. So you actually get the end result combat speed and not the start state combat speed. Not that I want to diss, obviously, the recent addition to Kixeye's ship builder in the game, because it's still decent. When it comes to fleet concepts, it doesn't add that factor in. Be clever enough to. No, didn't quite make it. Let that ship come to us. Target, so we're just going to take them. Okay, so you should be on to, that was 6, wasn't it? We're on to 7 now. And that was yeah, that one. not sure if it's the Zoes that was the damage there, or whether actually it was the missile turrets, but there's only one there that took a little bit of damage, so compared to the rest. So this should be a mega, shouldn't it? So whilst this one isn't actually that bad, in fact it's pretty simple to be honest, if you're hitting the 91s to doing your mega ship, mega hull sort of stuff, you know, it's always good to drag these fleets out to you, rather than, I see a lot of people battling around this area here, but the problem is that triggers the inner targeting range of the mega hull's own defensive system. So while you're fighting these, this thing's constantly firing at you, so it's nice to dip in and dip out. See, there you go, that's the inner range of that one there, though. So whilst a lot of people don't care and they just crack on and that sort of stuff, while the ships are coming towards you, you may as well let them arrive and do their business. Now we've built up, we might be able to take out, oh, I don't want to take out the island, I want it's going to now. Because it's not going to do all the targets, is it? Right, so I'm going to have to use a ship to probably kill that one. So this is a flexible environment, isn't it, basically? So there you go, there's the range. So this one here, if I let this one come down closer, it'll take out that turret as well. I haven't got to touch those turrets. So bear in mind, these fire pools aren't mine, so that you get a mild amount of damage from these. Well, they look very similar to mine. Is he going to take the turret out? Not quite, is it? And he isn't going to either. Okay. Alright, well, let's get a bit of damage then. So these guys have slowed down definitely, so and you can see the crew logo is not up there in the top corner, so the crew has run out. Phoenix would have been much faster, as you guys are saying, but I started with these, so I may as well finish. Right, so let's go in and get rid of this thing, because straight away, look, there's a stream of him coming towards me. That's one thing the Phoenix doesn't do, look. It's a good time to go in there on overload, isn't it? Just blat that ship and get it out of the way. There we go. That's rather nice. We may even get these. So we've got extra protection. We've got faster overload. Wow, check that out. Wasn't planned, just happened. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, funny. That was good timing. But clearly the Skyfighters are taking damage. So. But I find the 91s, yeah. Phoenix is all to them nicely. That was fluke in the mega ship, wasn't it? Just overloaded at the right time. Now, why don't I get them all? 1, 2, 3, missing 1. Oh no, took a lot. Good. Yeah, so obviously the 2 took the pounding, didn't it? And there we go. Okay, concussive reciprocator. I don't mind that, to be honest. It's not bad. Clearly, it's a wind-up weapon. It's usable. It's quite handy to have, but I don't use it myself personally anymore. But it's okay. What do we end up with the total damage on that then? Yeah, so yeah, that one does take a little bit. But what we could do is, while we're here, as I've said, is seeing there's not much damage, we may as well stay on the same theory and get rid of these things as well, use them up. Oh, here's the other two TLCs. Actually, while we're talking about TLCs, so the call to arms one, if you really want to do it for the monolith, because there's more than one call to arms now, because there's also one for the icebreaker as well. So for me, I would jump right past that one there if I was to do this, because obviously that's the actual monolith, and obviously an excellent mortar, the D85D. I've never used the precision napalm detonator myself. I've found some other specials I prefer. There are more tokens, obviously, in Price Pack 2, and then obviously in Price Pack 3 you get the flagship, which no one tends to use, I don't think, anymore, to be honest. I use the Zealous tank instead of 4 regular monos to do my FM, if I'm choosing to do it a bit slower. If not, I use icebreakers. But, so there's nothing in there for me personally that's going to make my life any easier. I've got plenty of tokens, I've ranked up all my ships, and I've still got an excess of double figures of build tokens, so I'm not going to stack up any more. It's always nice to have some stacked up, but I'm not going to back up stack up anymore. Skyfire is the same sort of situation then, so Banded Hornet and Skyfire Carrier in 1. I would then jump obviously straight to 2, get some more tokens and some more rank. And in 3, obviously, UAV Carrier, the UAV Targeting Circuitry, which is a really good special. And probably the most expensive one of all the TLCs to grab, I think. And then obviously there's some more tokens. So if you haven't done this, or you want to adjust it for the raid, then it's a brilliant time for this to come out, because there's an awful lot of Skyfire carrier tokens there. But obviously it doesn't work for the flagships, just bear that in mind. So you still have to manually adjust the flagship. But it's not bad, to be honest. And this one I may or may not do, can't remember, to be honest. So this has obviously got some bases to attack as well, and that sort of stuff. It's not a bad little TLC, although it does get a bit expensive come the end. So just bear that in mind. And that's what that chap was doing earlier on, a bit further down, using his rages and his prides. So it's all about build tokens. Bear in mind you can't stash them all. Okay, so you can't stack all the build tokens away at the same time, because there's 5 day build tokens, then you can only stash 1, I believe. And be careful if you're doing FM as well, because some of the build tokens, like this one here, 1 day structure build token, that's the same obviously as run through 3 in the FM. So if you're already stacked up with 2 max, you'll do this, then you'll lose that token straight away. So just be cautious. So there's the 5 day token, and the Venom Spitter, which has been good, but then Price Pack 3 obviously has got another one as well. So what's nice is there's a 2 day structure build token there, so that's the first time I've seen one of those, and there's another 1 day as well. So just be cautious. That's the same quantity as doing 2 lots through of the FM, so you have to spend both your FM ones to stack these 2 1 days back up again, and you'd probably have to spend the first of the 5 day ones as well, so that's 7 days. May as well. Something to do. And then it'll be lunchtime here in the UK, so I'll be getting off. Right. So this is me 3 runs, isn't it? So it should be okay. And we'll just blast through it, because it can fix itself this afternoon when I'm doing something else. Personally, for me, for the game, it is nice to have the treasure chests, but for the game, I think the damage is too much for this one, to be honest. Whereas, obviously, within the base attack, if you set your base up properly, you get no damage whatsoever. So most people tend to skip this one out. I mean, you can box clever on this sort of stuff. You know, this is an example of mech for 91 as well. Clearly, obviously, one ship's going faster than the other ship. Okay, and so you can just wait and then let it retarget from one to the other. So that one's too far to do it. I mean, you guys that are on here now are quite in the chat are knowledgeable players, so not teaching you anything at all. But there may be others watching later. So clearly those fire fields are my fire fields. Now what I'm going to do is ignore everything outside, and we're going to get rid of this thing because obviously I've gone inside the target in range now, and straight away I'm taking incoming. So let's get in there. Now clearly once you're inside their range, so let's clear that one first. Then obviously nothing's. And I'm on overload, so seeing as I'm on overload, which means I've got extra protection, let's go and kill these damn things off. Oh, it's gone. That's a shame. Doesn't worry. Doesn't worry. Oh, I must have chained on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ships gone. That was nice. Fluky, but nice. That was amusing. That was nice and handy as well. So normally I go around the back and I use the shipyard or obviously the missile turret there, rather than triggering one of these scatters. But hell, whatever. There we go. There's one island gone. And same here. You can go up round and take the building, and it will trigger and take the rest out. So. But just for speed, I'll just do it this way. There we go, rather nice. Come on, chug, hurry up. Sky fires. Just want to press speed up button sometimes. This way I do. Okay. That's run 1. 2 more. There's no point me docking for. I mean, you get plenty of res. Yeah, it's 500. You know, I'm almost fully maxed out, but I'm maxed out already, so there's no point docking more. I have nothing to rebuild at the moment. Doing a couple of adjustments. That's all. Messing around with Rage Fleet yesterday. I managed to get combat speed up to 78, which I thought was quite amusing. 78 combat speed on a Rage Fleet. Yeah. There's the Axiom Is it Axiom it's called? Turret. Which is a splash, obviously, turret. I was just thinking 78 could probably outrun the splash. Maybe use the ship to our advantage. Thinking you. That's handy. Well, that was nice. That's cleared the whole flank. That's good. Yeah, so clearly this is a stream, but we can talk about the next raid. The next raid being the tech store raid, isn't it? So we all know that there's a flagship coming out for the Sloth. Now, clearly Sloth's obviously just the name of the ship itself. They are ridiculously slow, no matter what you do to the darn things. But the flagship is destined to speed them up considerably, or to be fast in its own right considerably. So what is he going to do? Is he going to speed up Sloths? Well, that's great, but then what tank are you going to tank them with? Because obviously it's a flagship, so you've just lost the ability to. I mean, example would be the Rainer's Rage. That would make a very nice tank to go with for Sloths if you could speed the Sloths up. Or is the Sloth tank going to be the Sloth, sorry, flagship going to be a tank in its own right with maybe rad protection and corrosive defense? That would be interesting. If that was the case, then that would open things up considerably. And all those courages that are out there at the moment, and all this rad defense going all over the bases, and using obviously the new chaining turret that came out obviously during the bounty. Will be time to rethink yet again. The inevitable yin yang of Kixeye, which I always find funny. You can't say current in this game for more than a week, can you? Maybe two, if you're lucky. They like to play their tricks. Keeping it real, eh? I could wait for that ship, but I can't bother. We'll take a bit of pain from that. Oh, look, we missed one of you. Yeah, so it could be a flagship effect, but it could be battle screen wide. You know, so it could speed up Sloths a little bit, which I don't think it should do, to be honest. You never know. I don't think it should, because just by the very nature of the ship, they're supposed to be slow. But if the flagship, which I don't think should be called a Sloth, does something to them, or works in conjunction with them somehow, then it'll be interesting. But it'll need to be like the Visago's Pride, where it doesn't matter where it is, so long as it's in the same battle, it just gives the boost. Then I'm in for some interesting time. I don't know. We'll talk about the weekend show. Hello, someone's having a little gulp. Who's that? Oh, Rum. Hello, Rum. Most people know Rum Runner, I'm sure. When he comes on the shows, quite active on ours and the Crypt, in fact. As you can see, probably on the ticker tape machine down the bottom, that's our website address, which this TLC and all the other, this event here, which is obviously the daily, the boring one, because it just takes too long. But the TLCs that are alive at the moment, they're all on there. Andrew, who's our webmaster, he's brought them all forward, and he's got them sitting in the current TLCs area of so you can cancel website. So if you can't remember, and I'm terrible for it, of what's actually in each round, then he uploads previous people's videos, so you can actually go and sneak peek, which is what I did before I started this, because I've become very lazy. It's much easier to go and have a look at what the targets were. Well, that's annoying. Taking damage for no reason. Could do an overload now, it'd be really nice. Next one's not coming for a while though, is it? Oh, we're not that far off it though. We might get it now actually. Let's just stay in the damage zone. No, you're not going to, are you? Oh, there we go. Get some of that. We may as well go down here and get these two. Should get the turret as well, shouldn't it? Yes, it does. Now, why has that ship gone down there? Why do they do that? Gone completely the wrong direction. I don't know what you think, but I think charge armor makes you a very lazy driver because you're just like, whatever. You drive straight into it. I mean, back when it was just Apollos, you wouldn't drive straight into these things. You'd kite round them and try and get most of the scatter to fall behind you. But now you're just like, whatever. Hello, Rum. Talking to the very devil. Your ears burning, mate. Well, there we go. I suppose I could go and do some. Something to do. I'm going to hit a couple of 91s, I suppose. You obtained a treasure chest. Thank you very much. Let me have a quick look. How much do I need titanium-wise? Seeing as we're on sector orange. Well, we're always on sector orange, but got 100k. I can fill up a little bit more. Any 91s kicking around? Yeah, there is. Right. Oh, no, wrong thing. Oh, I hate it when button one. See, there you go, straight away. There's the problem with megas, isn't it? Freaking heck. Clicking the wrong button. Whoops. Button 2. Unless there's one around here kicking around somewhere. Let's have a look. Oh, there's one. I don't know if mighty's the right word, mate, to be honest. I'm here for your amusement. I try and make you guys look good, mate. That's my job. So, as I was saying to some Alliance members earlier today, a lot of people tend to drive in, crash around, killing all these ships while this thing's killing you. And then you're inside, it's also its targeting range. So, personally, I mean, yeah, you can always do these for free and that sort of stuff. But if they are just still using Apollos, which some of mine are, I've said to them, don't do that. Just let the ships come to you. I mean, you can outrun most of this stuff if you keep going around as a clockwise direction as well. So you don't get the slowdown effect, and you don't get you don't get targeted by their rubbish as well. There's no reason why you should ever get hit by one of those. I can nip in and just nip this cluster. We'll trigger a little bit of stuff, but here it comes. Like, well, let's get back out again so it turns itself off. There you go, that's the end of the trail now. No, what I should have done was bunch those ships up together actually. And then I can use them to take the damage from one to the other. So that's my fire pool and that's their fire pool. You can see the size of the difference there. So this one will cause damage, my one won't. If I'm cautious enough, I should be able to get those 4. Yes, I can. 5, thank you very much. So we need to watch these, obviously. So your ages have been fixed, eh? Ooh. You've been playing with them yet? That's the question, I suppose. I was just saying before you came on, Rum, actually, I was messing around with rages yesterday, like, and I managed to get a fleet build with combat speed of 78. just messing around to see if you could outrun maybe the splash effect of that new turret. 78 combat speed on rages, it would be pretty funny, I thought. And they still turned faster than what they were driving, so you wouldn't bash into the walls or anything. I don't know, I might try them in the next preview or something. I don't know if I'm going to bother adjusting. Just saying over here, I don't know if it's the same in the States, but sometimes you just don't need to rush because there's another bus coming in 5 minutes. It's a bit of an old London sort of thing. But generally, you rush for a bus and all that effort and that sort of stuff, and you may just chill out and wait 5 minutes because there'll be another one or maybe a better one with less people on it next time. The speed they turn up around there is, you haven't got to worry about it. So don't chase your tail. Metaphorically speaking, that is. So we don't want to make this stream too long, I suppose. We'll probably cut and run after this because it's just obviously something to do. In fact, I might set these up to do an auto next and just see how bad it is. Since it's already taken damage, keep the damage under 4 or 5 hours, and I can go and do something else. Cut the grass maybe or something. The sun's out, so and I'll come back and it'll be all fixed. The lawn definitely needs a cut. That was annoying, didn't kill that dog. Well, you could watch an auto hit, I suppose. Not that that's really exciting, but just to make sure they will still auto. Skyfiles for Phoenix, mate. Yeah, we'll have a look if you. I did sort of show it earlier on, but obviously I will. I've done a couple of little refits, but no weapon changes because I'm lazy. And for one raid, I'll take the extra hit if I'm a little bit behind the curve. So I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll see if we can see another one. We'll set it to auto, and then we'll go back into the dock and we'll have a little look at builds and stuff, and I'll just show you what I've done. He says he's got to find one first. Is there anything down here? No. The busy old sector, as you know, Rum, so it's there's a lot going on. Which means there's not much of the good old stuff around. But Blimey. What about near my Hyperion? Wasn't there some stuff up here a minute ago? There was, doesn't mean there still is. There's a couple there, right, okay. Oh. My bad. Right, okay, 29 seconds. We'll make sure it engages before I jump into the dock. We'll go back in and we'll have a quick look at me. And then we'll pop back out and see how that thing autos by itself. In fact, before we do, we'll also calibrate damage. We can do that as well at the same time. May as well. So repairing at the moment. So we're on. Just bear that in mind. So there you go. So it's 5 coin. It's 2 hours and 25 at the moment. If we were to just if we were to do it. So we won't go in and have a look. We'll just let it engage itself and make sure it does actually start. Okay, it's off and running. So. So yeah, Phoenixes. Let's have a quick look whilst that thing's having a back. So my Phoenixes, and so I let's have a quick extension then. Sorry, we can do this. So yeah, I changed just to that new special, was that advanced optical tracking. I'm not 100% sure it was the right thing to do. I've used them a couple of times, and they retarget. That recent TLC was there for the extra charge armor, but I'm still not sure if they're better than the previous special that was on them. So yeah, and I haven't changed any missiles because I'm just, while the other one packs a big punch, the reload is worse. Now, if I was going against something that had, like a field effect to shoot down missiles, then I'd use probably 50-50 because the reload's different. Then obviously I get a stream of rounds coming out. But I've been using a lot of switch, and obviously, when I've got incoming, the switch fast switches to its countermeasure. And apart from that, then the reload's slightly different than the Talon. So it seems to be working quite effectively to keep the stream going, which is quite decent. But yeah, so for me, I haven't done anything other than that. And I didn't even need the special as far as because I'm not obviously the Skyfires. We'll look at those in a second. There's a new special, isn't there, which gives you corrosive protection as well. But I'd found in the last raid that the corrosive damage wasn't horrendous. So maybe because I've got charge armor on it. But I didn't really. I prefer to have the penetrative protection because if those drones get close to you, it's penetrative they give out. It's not unless they get really close, obviously. Then obviously when they go boom and you're in their zone, then obviously you're going to get corrosive. But in general, if you get into about 96 range, I think it is, something like that, then they fire those little missile pellets at you. So more penetrative protection you can get, the better. So that's why I kept reactive armor free on. Whereas it's different on Skyfires because Skyfire doesn't have as much built-in corrosive anyway. But also because they are slower, you are more likely to get something to get closer in. So I did up it on the Skyfires, but that's it basically. So that's my flag one. And like I said before, that Gale is only on there because of the cheese balls from the buildings, which is explosive damage if it hits you. And just to recap, that was a mistake my very first time in the preview when I didn't put that on, and I forgot about the cheese balls, and we thought that we were informed that it was only going to be penetrative and corrosive damage, and it wasn't. That's explosive damage still. So I put one back on and never had a problem since. 99% of the cheese balls that come in the firing range, which is only short, it's not very far, it's only got 44 range, but when the cheese balls fire, I just sit still quickly for a couple of seconds, and then if it comes over the top of my ship or is about to land on my ship, then I just let it take it down, and then I continue. And that's definitely paid off. So yes, I've lost one missile, but do you want an extra 2 hours of fix? I don't. So for the sake of one, it's only on that one ship. I haven't put on anything else at all. So that's it, and these ones are very, very similar. So it's one switchblade for me, and the rest of them are all the talons. And like I said, I went, because the turn speed's so fast on the Phoenix. I actually went with Magnus. A lot of people are using Speed System 5, but I just want to be a bit quicker. So a really lazy refit for me, to be honest. Really, really quick. I mean, they're out on the ground and that sort of stuff, but we can have a quick look. For me, so that was it. The only thing I did was change the, as I said, the special then to boost the protection against corrosive. It reduces obviously penetrative a little bit. That's the only downside. I don't know if it was a wise thing or not, but I didn't go for any new UAVs. I wasn't really impressed with the fact that the range wasn't identical. Had it been identical, I would have definitely done it, but I'd probably gone 50-50. And yes, they do pack a bigger punch at the start, and we were looking at DPS of them when they came out, but it's just the very nature that, they're not the same range, and so I just didn't want to mix max ranges. If you're kiting things, I want to stay at full range. So for me, then obviously I chucked clearly some penetrative protection on that one there, some countermeasures, but these ones are absolutely the same, just all UAVs. But anyway, that's it. Let's pop out and have a look. Is it still doing it, or is it finished? It's finished. Okay. Well, it's definitely taking some damage. How much damage is it? So it's 225 beforehand, wasn't it? So it's, there we go. So just under 25 minutes on auto. That's not disgusting, is it? So I didn't bother looking. Yeah, good. Let's have a quick look. There's plenty of people out and about doing stuff, isn't there? Not in the mood for doing anymore. I've got things to do, so we're up to 150. Obviously got some stuff ongoing at the moment, so I can't do another one of those. I'm really enjoying the fact that we can build these tokens. I much prefer the other one to switch from Justice now for a defensive, and actually just go to yeah. Well, that was timing. Let's take these back home. We can go back and do another one. So yeah, the 6 hours there, but if they could only just change that one, if they wouldn't mind, from Justice to Defensive, because I mean this is obviously Conqueror, which is nice. And whilst people have been building Justices, I can't take advantage of this particular token or change it and change it to the new ship, Courage. We can really do with that switch now, because obviously Courage has got 0 combat speed. So apart from when it comes to VXP weekend, you're going to have to go in and die, or use something else to draw fire off the targets. It's going to be a right pain ranking the Courages. on the weekend, we'll catch up on the live show. Okay. Take care.